Okay, good.
I'm John Travis in Novato, California on August 9th, 2025, talking to David Isaacs in Burnsville, North Carolina on the same day. We've known each other 51 years. There's a longer recording we did 6 years ago that will be linked as well. But today I wanted to go back and because you're one of the few living people that were at the Wellness Center anymore. Um, our core staff have all died. Uh, I wanted, not all of them, but two or three of the most important ones for memories, to dredge out some of the memories that you have of that crazy time in the late 70s that led to our starting the Wellness Center and launching it. And as Dan Rather said on his opening of the 60 Minutes piece, wellness, now there's a word you don't hear every day. And you were there. You helped us birth it, and yeah. So, what are your memories? Bless you.
I feel blessed, Jack. I always feel blessed to be with you. Um, well, when you sent me a note about this, I asked you why and what for this recording might be used in addition to what we did before. And what came up for me is the word influence means inflow and etymologically. And so, what was in flow? What was in flow was your humility, different from a lot of new docs. Um, your your interest in moving from sick care. You had seen it through your father's practice, both the best of medical practice, perhaps with watching your dad to some extent, and why you went into medical school. And then you made a decision, certainly after that, maybe in your internship, that you wanted to focus on well care as contrasted with sick care. And I think that was the field in which you hosted the group of people that came together, just not just to support you, certainly, because you were really wanting to grow a consciousness, a field of wellness that could really uh, augment the very best of what traditional medical care might be able to do in terms of healing and keeping people well. And so, what I saw there are people who really had a sense, based on their relationship with you, that this is different. This is different. We're not going to invite people here to come and take medicine or to be prescribed uh, some approach to being well, but rather to come together and remember how to be together in a community of practice. And so the Wellness Community Center, right from the beginning, was your guiding a small group of people who cared about the work and about you and about the practice to co-evolve a practice of well-being at the Wellness Resource Center, which which could actually be open sourced into the culture. I don't think you had a very strong idea of necessarily establishing centers of wellness resourcing, so to speak, but to be a model, a paradigm of well care. And so there was a lot of conversation. We sat around a lot and we talked about what is well care? What are the conditions under which
Oh,
people remember
we
how to be?
actually never use the term well care because care implies a treatment of fixing people. So that's one of my, uh,
I got it.
yeah.
I'll put it this way, well caring. How about that?
Oh, that's good. Yes.
And so the gerund, the action, caring is a gerund, so it's
Hmm.
well caring. And so what we learned when we had conversations is when there was flow in the conversation and we were really focused on what might be possible in um, offering workshops or offering a connection with potential clients, both individuals and groups, um, a way of moving beyond just the traditional sick care model of health and seeing health as a process of becoming well together. And so the whole notion, from my point of view, one of the greatest influences of the Wellness Resource Center and of wellness itself is when organizations and even some physicians or other healthcare professionals really, really focused on education, on well-being education. And then there was a whole series, early series of approaches to identify um, what are the criteria and principles of being well. And the wellness inventory was a critical piece of that, of inventorying a person's personal or even collective in a group level of well-being. And it was used to identify not what was not working, but to emphasize what was, and to notice if something wasn't not working, and to build on what was working. So I think you and the Wellness Resource Center started something, and the Dan Rather stuff interview really helped, and it spread all over the world. And most of the time, people didn't identify the Wellness Resource Center as the source, but that was not your goal. Your goal was to put wellness and well-being and well caring out into the world. And you done did it, Jack.
Well, to some extent, we still don't think we've come anywhere close to Halbert Dunn's vision with his 1950s book, published in 61, where it's far more advanced than anything that goes by wellness nowadays. But I want to back up with some context here of uh, how you and I wound up in California. We both moved from the East Coast to California within a few months of each other. We'd gotten to know each other through transactional analysis reparenting groups. We had a common interest in healing our own childhood wounds and recognizing those dynamics using transactional analysis and the games and parent-child and so forth. And where you came in, because you weren't actually on the staff, you were doing your own thing. You were training with Hardy Jones at that point and doing adductivism. And but what I found valuable was you were a consultant to our dysfunctional family because we very quickly discovered as we started growing that we had a lot of family dynamics that weren't working real well. And you uh, I remember doing some intensive weekends with you, getting us to recognize our interactions with each other because we were making it up as we went along. It was definitely totally new territory. Um, didn't fit any models that we had. We were influenced by things going on like the S training and all the new age things that were unfolding from Sarah McFadden's The Serial, the spoofing the New Age stuff, to Esalen and um, other, Mill Valley was the center for holistic health, which was evolving in parallel. It was really different because it was still a treatment model, but it was holistic and it was new thinking and interesting people. So that's the context that you and I were working in. Um, and because you got to know our people like Bobby, and I don't know if you spent much time with Kenneth because he left fairly soon after Bobby came in, but uh, Annie and Joy and how about Michael and were who was doing biofeedback? Was it Michael or Pam? Do you remember?
Mhm.
You mainly had interactions with probably Bobby and Joy, right?
Mhm. And you.
And me, of course.
Biofeedback was influencing me too.
hmm So, any specific recollections since I've interviewed Joy somewhat uh, with difficulty. She wasn't wanting to do it. I couldn't even get her on video. Got a phone interview with her. Uh, what specifically do you remember about what was going on and with
Well, I
Bobby?
remember mostly being hooked up to the IMG, the muscle biofeedback
EMG, yeah.
MG, and me learning how to hear it, how many beeps and how beep 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 beep
Yeah.
my mind was going, and and I think you said something like, maybe take a couple of breaths, or I think you may even had some music on. I don't remember, but I learned that I could turn off the machine, and by breathing and calming myself and allowing my mind to rest, and I've used that in my life because we all have stress and challenges in our lives, and sometimes it really helps. It really has helped me, for example, to remember being hooked up to that machine in your office. That's an example.
Who was
But
working with you? Was it me or was it
yeah,
one
it
of
was you. It was you.
I don't know.
Yeah. And the other piece is the conversations and the dialogues that this is before the World Cafe showed up, but I was always interested in conversations in which we remember how to be together. I was contrasted with how to figure things out
Hmm.
individually and then ultimately put it back together. So what if this is a time called now, then and still now? When a vital mass of humankind is remembering that we are all connected to each other and to the planet and to the solar system and to life itself. We are not separate. And that was without actually using that language, the focus was communal, was community, a wellness community, connected, people connected, related, thinking about what might be possible to break through into the rigid model of allopathic medicine.
Well, I'm trying to recreate what it was like on a daily basis in the center. We had this two offices, and then Bobby created a communication center out of a closet downstairs, and she was instrumental in building community among the staff. And when we found out that two out of three people would know something that the third one didn't because we hadn't thought to tell them, and uh, that was really a major uh, growth piece for us as a group as we got larger. Uh, but what recollections do you have of the actual facility and the people in it, and
Well,
what was it
it
like?
was in a redwood forest in Mill Valley, California. Some beautiful redwood trees. Second floor, a place where there was every once in a while there was music and good cheer and you always welcomed everybody coming in and it was for me it was never a difficult environment. In other words, I think what we realized we were all at risk of learning together as well as you, and you were a really good guide to that because of your background and looking for what had uh, what influenced well caring in community. And ultimately, that's what influences, from my point of view, in my work with dialogue and community over the years, is well caring is the influence of moving beyond being separate and
Mhm.
being in community or communion around questions that matter, like in this particular case about caring. So it's well caring and that languaging, it brings it alive. There was a lot of caring amongst the staff.
And specifically because Bobby was the mother of the bunch, I was the titular father, but she turned out to be the mother. She started out as a secretary and wound up being coordinator of staff services and doing all kinds of stuff. She was a total find, and I so missed uh, not being able to interview her for this. So, any specific memories you have of your interactions with Bobby?
More recently, frankly, because she's here in Nashville.
Well, yeah, until she died 10, 15 years
No,
ago.
no, no, not no, Bobby. The other one. Oh my gosh, Jack.
No,
Who am I? Hanshaw. Meg Hanshaw.
no, she never had anything to do with the wellness center.
Really? She never
And
entered?
no, she
I had
ran
her
the mail.
conflated. I had her conflated.
No, she ran the mail order business for us after
Oh, okay.
Bobby took it with her, and then trained other people to run it.
Well, Meg is the one that I had contacted. I
Yeah,
don't. I remember liking Bobby very much, and I've gotten to know Meg, and she really feels you might want to talk with her um, because she's taken this into education.
right. And she and Bobby were like sisters. Was
Yeah.
once Bobby moved there. Good point. I could certainly. She doesn't know what it was like at the center, but um,
Well, you bet she might have some ideas on what it was like
yeah,
at the beginning.
yeah.
Hey,
Uh,
Jack, I've got about 5 minutes, and if,
okay.
if you want to talk long or more, I'm willing to talk more another time. I
Uh,
really am.
that we're getting about everything that I wanted to get.
Good.
Wanted to mention for the context that you mentioned World Cafe, that's your main claim to fame. You and Juanita created that a few years
No,
afterward,
we did not create it.
but you discovered it.
No,
Yeah,
we uncovered it.
uncovered. Okay.
We
But I
uncovered it. It
remember
was already present, just like wellness was already present. You
yeah,
didn't discover wellness.
yeah,
You recognized it.
yeah. And I remember the experience because you'd been talking about it for years and it sounded interesting and so forth. But we were in the hot tub in Mill Valley at your place one night prior to the summit that I was part of planning for the Alliance for Transforming the Lives of Children. And I suddenly got it. It was like just a flash. Somehow you had explained it differently. Maybe it was being in the hot water with you or what, that it suddenly I could get it. And then we decided to bring you into that
To
summit.
get what, Jack? What did you get in the hot tub?
Uh, the whole concept of the World Cafe, that it was
Oh,
um, a different way of relating from the typical ways of relating. So that was an enormous gift that came long after the Wellness Center shut down, but and our lives have intertwined what through these 50 some years
yep.
and continue to as every time I talk to you, I wind up thinking about new things. So,
Well, I'll give you a new one as we close. A new one is a small group of us doing a Zoom call at the World Cafe online with people from all over for about 3 years, most recently within the last 5 years. And what we realize is that if we treated people, regardless of age or stage or education or anything, that collaborative awareness or collaborative wisdom could show up
mm,
amongst them.
hmm
And so a new World Cafe design principle has at least tentatively emerged. And what it is, and this is what you did at some level. You designed a field of collaborative humility in which we treated each other as equal human beings, as equal learners on the path of wellness, of well caring. In other words, it's not doctor patient. It's not manager client.
hmm
It's adult to adult, or even adult to a child, treating a child as a whole person
hmm
and
Good
speaking to
point.
him or her. So awakening a field or designing a field of collaborative humility in which we're not teaching people might grok something from us. They might get something from us, but that's not it's forming the communion, the community of learning and practice. And that's what you're doing. We didn't use that language then, but I think that's what was happening.
hmm Yeah.
You established the field in which we people could learn together about what's possible to become well, to or become more weller.
Well, those are some great parting words. Do you have any
Love you,
additional?
Jack. I love you very much and have enormous respect for you.
Oh, likewise, David, my dear brother from another mother.
So, hey, call anytime. Don't ever feel
Oh,
okay. I'm always available to you.
I'm going to end the recording.